Hi and welcome everyone. I'm Friar Tuck. This is my epoch, and today we're going to do a segment called Ask Tuck. This is something that I'm doing in collaboration with Homeless Entrepreneur. And Homeless Entrepreneur, they are collaborating with public and private partners to be able to reduce poverty and empower the impoverished economically. So if you'd like to know more about them, the link will be down in the description. However, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be answering 3 questions plus a bonus question today, and this will help you if you're looking for homeless survival or you're looking to better your situation if you're already homeless. So the first question was asked, is there a difference between states? Are there homeless friendly states? And like, where do you go and how do you know? And to answer this question, it's not really a long-winded question. It's real simple. It's not the states that you have to worry about, it's the cities. And in the larger the homeless population, generally the friendlier the city is to the homeless population, because it's allowed to grow, because the city is taking, whether it be proactive measures like Cincinnati or being like Pensacola, where now they've become militant towards their homeless because of the Grants Pass decision, and so now they're kicking them and trying to kick them out. Same thing here in Gainesville. You're seeing a thinning out of the homeless population because now the cities that don't want to be friendly to the homeless population are now thinning out their homeless population, and so the homeless will congregate where it is a little bit easier for them to be. Now, there's deeper questions such as humanity that we need to address when coming to this, because a city like Cincinnati, that they have really good services. They take care of their homeless. They also have a large homeless population, but you also got to look at who's involved in the homeless population as well. Anywhere where you see the Friars, or what would also be known as the Brotherhood of St. Francis of Assisi, their whole mission is to serve the homeless, and they are a big part in making areas that are friendly to the homeless, so that they can come into the community and service the homeless, because that is the full mission of St. Francis of Assisi. Okay, they are called Friars. That's kind of how I got the nickname Friar Tuck. And there's an interesting story behind that, and I'll let you look it up yourself. But if you're looking for a place, or if you're looking to figure out how or why, just look where the homeless population is large. But also you got to look at who you are as a human being. If you're in the drug world, there's not going to be any good place for you. If you're not in the drug world, places that are more rural, that kind of have a little wooded area where you can get a little bit of privacy as long as you pick up your camp every morning, things like that will make a difference on whether or not it's friendly to you or not. And a lot of it has to do with your habits and what you're doing to bring that attention to you, that is going to dictate whether or not a city is friendly to you or not. So that's the best answer I can give for that question. The next question I got was, do the homeless or do shelters open up cold weather shelters? And the short answer to that is yes. It depends upon what area you're in and what the standards are. So where you're at in Florida determines when they open up the cold weather shelters. So here in Gainesville, they will open it up at 45. But if you go a little bit further north and you go into Tallahassee, they don't open it up until about 35 degrees. So you got to look at the local area and kind of like when things like that happen. In areas of far north, I know in Cincinnati, starting like the first week in November, they open up the cold weather shelters, because it doesn't matter if it gets cold before then. That is their schedule, and they open it up at a specific time, and it closes, I think, like somewhere near the middle of March, if I'm correct, at least in Cincinnati. And even in places like Portland, Oregon, where I grew up and where I spent a lot of my life, that's my home. They would bus you to armories and stuff like that to make sure that all the homeless got in when it was cold. So yes, they do offer things like this, and this is something that you should definitely look into in your local area and ask within the local homeless community for the home bums. Ask them, when do the cold weather shelters open? Also, if there's inclement weather, like you got a tornado or a hurricane coming through, or a hailstorm or something like that, that becomes like an emergency, not just for the housed, but now because they're making an emergency for the housed, they'll also make an emergency for the unhoused. And so therefore, in those moments, you should also be able to get shelter, places like fire departments, or just talking to your local homeless shelter. They'll let you know where the places are that you can go when they open up and things like that. If you ask questions within the community, you'll know what's going on within your local community as far as when those shelters open. So this third one was asking me, what is my entrepreneurial project? What is it that I am doing? And I've been working. When you first start off in business, it's just like having a child. You don't know its personality until it develops. And even with this, I'm not knowing the personality of my channel until it develops. And it's finally developing, and I'm getting to understand the personality of the channel. And that personality is dictated by my viewers. And I originally came out here and I've been able to stick on mission. It's just I've got to hone in how I put the message out. But my original intent was, I follow a guy by the name of Billy Meyer. That's Meier for those of you who want to look him up. And he gives a prediction that there's going to be something called the Great Dispossession and a global economic collapse that we will probably never be able to recover from. We will have moments where it seems like we'll recover, but as soon as we get up to a point where we finally break even, it's all going to crash down again. So what does that mean? That means that you're going to see a mass expansion in homelessness, because not only the automation of the workforce through advanced robotics, through artificial intelligence, and through other things like that, you have different things that are going to be putting people homeless. Here in the United States, I presume, just based upon what I know and just kind of doing a rough estimation, I think that there will be somewhere around 30% homeless. Now, during the Great Depression, there was about 2% of the population was homeless, but you also got to look that we were more of an agrarian society at that point in time. People could go live on the family farm, so you didn't, and help out there. So you didn't necessarily have an issue with homelessness like you'll have now, because we're a more centralized society. Being a more centralized society, we're going to see homelessness go to levels that we've never seen before. And a lot of this is going to happen because of not only the automation of the workforce, but which is going to cause a reduction, because during the original Industrial Revolution, we needed a large population to be able to fill the factories. But now the factories can be ran by robots, so we no longer need that population. Okay, and so this is playing out in a lot of different ways. And so for those of you who don't know, that's my dog Sam. Okay, so what I want to do is I want to teach those that are going to be caught up in this Great Dispossession how to be able to survive. And I mean, that means they're going to become homeless. That means they're going to have to travel. That means they're going to have to do all kinds of different things. As far as what I'm trying to accomplish here is, as long as I can teach people and get people prepared, okay, for what is coming, because it's coming, it's already here, and we're starting to see it trickle. The first wave is people like me who've been chronically homeless or who've been homeless before. But eventually all of us who've been homeless before will be filling the streets, and then you'll have people that have never been homeless before. And things have changed in the last 5-10 years compared to the last time that I was homeless, because I got off the streets for about 9 years and never thought I would ever be out here again. But yet, look at what's going on. So this is what my entrepreneurial project is to bring awareness to what is coming, to get people prepared, and to set up an infrastructure that will help those that are first coming out on the streets versus waiting until they develop an addiction or a mental health issue or a criminal record before they get help, because all that's going to do is exacerbate the problem, and that's what we're trying to prevent. And so that's what this channel and what my entrepreneurial goal is. That's the project that I'm working on, and that's what I'm asking for help for. So the bonus question that I am answering is, and this is a really, really good question. I had to think about this for a minute. So I'm being asked, what is the ideal homeless healthcare system? Okay, especially because I know Homeless Entrepreneur is mainly based out of Europe. He has minimal interactions over here in the States. Europe and the States have something completely different. So here in the States, what we have is the Affordable Health Care Act, which was dubbed Obamacare. They took away the individual mandate for that, so nobody's required to get it by law. They cannot penalize you for not getting it. However, they have kept the health care out there. And what they do, and one of the things that really benefits the homeless, and I think that this is actually a positive thing, more homeless should get on this versus Medicaid, because you get subsidized health insurance. Okay, so you get the regular health insurance that everybody else gets. So like I think here in Florida I have Blue Cross Blue Shield or United Healthcare, and in Cincinnati when I was there I got I think it was Humana. I mean, each state has its own little subsidized things, and if you hang around a homeless shelter long enough, you'll see one of the guys coming by, offering the subsidized health insurance. It's really good work. It's really worth it. And even if you do like some add-ons, I think that having dental care is important. But as far and so that takes a lot of the burden off of a lot of the buses and stuff like that come. So ideally the whole reason for doing this is to bring back the family doctor, the personal physician, because the thing is, as a homeless person or even as a house person, you're going to be healthier if you have a regular doctor that you go see. And if you're going to be a home bum, then having a regular doctor to go see is extremely important. But the thing is where the healthcare lacks here in the States, and I think is the most important, is to be able to have more access to dental care. There was a point in time, because I used to actually be an insurance agent at one point in my life. And there was a point where they were talking about mandating that you went to the dentist at least once a year to have a teeth cleaning and a checkup in order for them to insure you, because they understand that your mouth is the beginning of your immune system, and your guts are the follow-up to it. The guts are the important part, but everything goes to your guts through your mouth. So your mouth is kind of like, if you're not taking care of that, the rest of your immune system is shot. Okay, so I think that going back to that or adopting that mentality will ensure that proper dental care is done for the homeless, because that's one of the biggest issues that we have. Now, I understand that some people do white dope, and that white dope destroys your teeth and stuff like that. But as a human being, you still deserve to be able to not have your mouth full of pain. Yes, there are consequences you're going to have to pay, but that should not be one of them. Okay, because as someone who deals with chronic issues, and I've never had a white dope addiction or anything else like that, because of somebody that struggles with that, because of being able to get care, I'm now having more issues because I'm not able to get care. And I instead of losing my teeth like I am and having constant infections that they won't fix, I could have had this fixed 10, 15 years ago, and I would still have my teeth and they would be in good shape. But because the system fails in probably one of the most important part, which is probably why our lives are shorter out here as homeless to begin with, is because of the lack of dental care. Yes, recently they have gone out and they're doing a great job on healthcare, but healthcare only goes so far, because if you can't take care of your mouth, it doesn't matter how many pills they give you. It doesn't matter what the doctor does for you. All you're doing is becoming an extra burden. And as homeless, we shouldn't be an extra burden. We should be looking at ways to be proactive in taking care of our health, because out here it's imperative, because of all of the different things and all that you come across. But that is my overall answer of what the ideal homeless system is. All right, guys, thank you for watching. You know how to help the channel. Everything's down in the description, memberships and everything like that, and tip jar is how I do my crowdfunding. That's how I support myself. Otherwise, become a subscriber. Share this video if you think that there's something that I missed, or if you have your own questions, be sure to put them down in the description or down in the comments. And maybe next week when we do the Ask Tuck, I will answer that if I get enough questions and if they're a good question.